from that era, well, one just got out of prison a few years ago after being in there over 30 years, a friend of mine. Other friend, been in prison 22 years. 22 years. Now, yes, 22 years is a long time to be away from family, environment, and everything. But it's not that we, students of psychology and everything, but there is something that happens. Example, if you look at the people and the system and everything that's got you surrounded, and you're not specially trained, you may commit movement suicide. Movement suicide is you announce to people around if they do this, that, and other, maybe a little small, dumb thing, right? Because you don't see any way out, but you want to go out, you know, if you want to go out right, it's possible for you to commit suicide, self-suicide. And you could be in a group and you could tell all your group if they do this or they do that. Well, first of all, 98% of those niggas you're talking to are going to go tell the boss man that. And you know what boss man's going to do? Exactly that. It's dirty. But it's reality. It's self-suicide. So you have to be well studied. You have to study the system, the people, and the environment, and you have to study yourself too. You have to know when you're getting close to the edge. And at that time, you say goodbye. Hell, I'm going to take a vacation. And you make sure you get yourself a vacation. You get rest. You get, why? Because stress, that type of stress produces certain behavior. I don't want to stray. I'm talking about the same subject of keeping score, but I don't want to go so far that it don't sound like it. So I'll kind of try to retract and put it this way. As-Sabiqun is, if you look on the surface, we're the only ones left in the United States. I don't see anybody else. And I don't see anybody else that even have the hope and the vision. Not because we're a weekend type of people, it's because we didn't get time to train. We're gonna fight the heavyweight champion of the world when he's in his prime. And we ain't gonna, you get 2 weeks training, right? You get 2 weeks training, a year's training. You don't get a lot of fights to try. Unless you've been prepared for that all the time. And unless you get away and you get a chance to get around and you begin to know things. I remember when I was in Peru and I got on a train. When you're doing what I was doing, you try to blend in with the tourist crowd. So you study where do they go? They go to Cusco, Machu Picchu. So when I was on a train from Cusco, the old Inca capital, to Machu Picchu. You see Machu Picchu now in pictures and stuff like that. Well, they didn't have it like that then, but when I found there, I found out about Machu Picchu. So tourists. so on the train, they got people, the train is 15,000 feet up. You run the plateau up there. When you leave Lake Titicaca, which is 12,500 feet up, it's the highest navigatable lake in the world. Look it up, Lake Titicaca. It's the highest navigatable lake in the world. 12,500 feet up. So you know the mountains to produce a lake like that, that's gotta be high. Everything else gotta be higher than that. Right. So anyway, here's what happened. So there was a white lady that's a tourist. She's on the train, and so when the train stops, the people are selling stuff outside. So there's a fruit, I didn't even know what the thing was. So I bought that and something. So the white lady asked me, "Are you gonna eat that?" I said, "Yeah." I was already biting into the thing. I didn't know what it was. "Are you gonna eat that?" And she said, "If I ate that," is that pretty loud? Okay.
No, somebody said it was low, but
okay, all right.
Is it low to you? Okay, so well.
But anyway, that's kind of up there. I'll put it down here. Yeah. So anyway, the white lady said, "If I eat that," you know where they get diarrhea when they travel all around. If you go to Mexico, they call it Montezuma's revenge.
Right.
What it is the food is different there, and when you get there, the food we used to eat here, you get diarrhea for a few days. And so when I took my family down to Mexico, this was for a real visit. I mean, go to the beaches in 78. I ate the food, there was no problem, but my family ate it, and anyway. So you have to customize yourself to certain environments. Let me speed up. We are As-Sabiqun movement. We've been really blessed with, we're blessed with longevity. We're blessed with the historical reality that we face in the United States and Africa and South America and in Europe also. We spent time in Europe and we had to have acquired certain knowledge of certain things, or Interpol would have you gaffled up headed to some international penitentiary. But anyway, I wouldn't say we're here by any accident at all. That we're here as part of destiny. The movement that we're a part of, we're already playing a significant role. Because everything that we're involved in, the guidelines that came out, who to keep their eye on, who to keep, if anybody would remember Dr. Kaleem Siddiqui and what he said about me personally. It was clear, everybody heard it. It's like that was a hadith about Ali is the Mawla. Everybody heard the hadith, but didn't hardly nobody go by it. All those people, the big magazine writers, the big leaders in South Africa, all of those people heard what Dr. Khalid Siddiqui said. And he said it for a reason. He said it because for years, every time we had a program, whether it was in Texas or California, Dr. Khalid Siddiqui had a heart trouble, so part of his routine was to get out in the morning and walk. And he walked at a nice pace. My routine was to get out and run or go down to the exercise room. So I walked with him for years. Every time we had a program somewhere, we'd get out and walk together, and all that time we talked. And we talked about all the things, the movement. That's the reason that he was telling everybody the surprise news. You know, like, I know you guys are big shakes and everything, but this guy right here, if you want to be rightly guided, you better snatch him up. Oh, then why did they do exactly the opposite? So it's the same thing about As-Sabiqun, that everybody knew what to do, and they flipped up, right? I saw some of the people recently on press TV look like they're older than me. They're getting so old and feeble looking. I said, I hope I don't look like them. Good God Almighty. Look at those jokers. Boy, I'm telling you, you know. But you're not going to see me on there anymore. Why? Because they all systematically, it has to be a correct analysis. Because everybody did it. You see what I mean? Everybody did it. Why? And everybody did the same thing. They wanted to make sure that this guy doesn't get anywhere close to anything. When we got assaulted, instead of all of them supposed to have been friends and brothers, instead of them coming by, right? They was running up and down the street talking about Marzia, right? That's what they was doing. And it's not that I needed the help, which I'm glad it happened the way it did. Not only no help, but not even a mention. Okay, so that highlighted who they were. I want you to get the mathematics when you're keeping score. If you got the whole team, or all of the various teams, all playing against you, and you survive and thrive and are happy, you know why we go out and we feed the people without asking for money? Because it feels like the right thing to do at this time. And nothing else is necessary. In fact, you know it's the right thing to do. And you know that whatever happens, Allah got you hooked up. We done survived all of these years under all of that. You have to think about what's been going on. Can you imagine every one of all the people that you've been working with being against what you're about? Can you think about it sometime? That's a miracle. If they know it, that's fine. I already know it's a miracle. I know it's a miracle. Just to be right here, from A Street to here, and being here, all the people, there's so many funny acting people, the FBI, the FBI police, all of the kind of people that you can imagine, with the same routine behavior, and they're all underestimating. They figure when we do this play, that's gonna finish them off. They've been running them plays, and ain't nothing happened. They just expose themselves. I'm just trying to tell you that as far as this movement is concerned, it's already been a success. It's been a very serious success because everything that As-Sabiqun should do, we have done it already. And we may be in the 5th or 6th cycle or go around because we're right in a big advance now. Just because it don't seem like it doesn't make any difference. That's what knowing the score is. Know the score. So we know where we are according to the games being played. We know where we are and we know what we have to do to produce the environmental realities that we feel are good and necessary, that puts us in a position to be on the final draft for the super big leagues. We believe we're going to be right in there. Don't make no difference if it's 5 people here, 10 people there, or 2. When the final draft for the big leagues for this wrap-up, we're going to be right there, inshallah. This is how we feel, because this is how things are developing. The other thing that's important, we know what we're looking for in this. And the signs are simple, but it's when everybody look, you got to realize the stuff that's going on, it looks simple, it's not simple. If we're over there giving away free food, and they send one person that owns halal, and he wants to, you guys take a break now, right? Why? Because of everybody, it sounds like it's small, but it's big. It's big. They're trying to cut you off on everywhere they can. Therefore, we make it, if they do isolate us from one thing, they're putting us on the spotlight in another. That's why Boss Man been getting the stew whipped out of him. That's why his system, he is totally discombobulated. And so how is that possible? Show me one thing that they do of substance and of benefit to themselves or anybody else. From the president on down, there's no signs of life, or there's no signs of unity, harmony, and focus in the system. The system has got all the problems that it tried to put on us. The system is disintegrating from the inside. Now, of course, we might have said first, oh, Don is out to destroy the Republican Party. Then he think for a few more weeks, he said, Don, he gonna knock the whole show over. Don is in the process of knocking over the whole show. Along with, look at what's happening. Along with the people of the United States are losing all hope for a good future. The kids are graduating from school with $1 billion in debt, and they sending $5 billion overseas of old useless weapons, so that the ones that's running things can run their new weapon systems through and the government will pay them out of that. And they're doing the same old dumb stuff. Same thing Eisenhower said, the military-industrial complex. That is a system that don't listen to itself. That is a system that's got it worse than Bonnie and Clyde, because at a certain time, they should have came to a certain conclusion. They are now Bonnie and Clyde, and they're going to get the same treatment. They're going to get shot all up, bullet holes in them, because they ain't paying no attention. They're addicted to, or they're like a dope fiend. A dope fiend, he get addicted, he bring a whole show down. Boss man is addicted to his behavior that produces over and over again that is extremely harmful to the one practicing that behavior. That's addictive behavior. If you're addicted to running, that ain't gonna do you no harm. It's called positive addiction, right?
Right.
So, only thing you gotta do is slow yourself down. So I think I'll take a week off. Let my knees rest or something. You're right. But you don't have to worry. You're gonna get back to doing it because you're addicted to it. Right? And if you don't do that, you got something else. A lot of people don't know if you push that lawnmower around on these hills and stuff. That's good exercise. So you say, I'll do that. Right? This is the same thing as running up and down the hill. And so it's called positive addiction. Nobody else want to get addicted to mowing lawns, cutting lawns. There's no fun in it, but it's fun if you make it fun. Here's what we're trying to say. Everything that, when it comes time for a system or people to go, they're going to incorporate everything into their own behavior that assists them in going. Hey, that's the way the United States of America is right now. It's not saying happy to see them go, but they've been bad. The system has been bad. We don't want to wish anything on the people of America.